So Dynasty Warriors Origins came out earlier in the year, and most of us have, I would say, have played it, felt it out, and we all know these characters pretty well. So I wanted to figure out who out of these characters were the most important and most popular to the community that played it. So what I did for the last few months is put out these polls and asking you guys what you guys think about this character and how they changed and how they were in Origins. And now I have a list of all 51 characters, including the 4 MCs, in order of least popular to most popular. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to count down each one, give you the ratings on what they got voted for, why they are at that level, and then that'll be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think about my results down below. And let's go ahead and start off with the first person. At the bottom position, number 51, this character reprises his role at the bottom. Coming in at number 51, we have...
Don't feel ashamed. What happened was inevitable.
So Yuanshu not doing too good in the polls once again. 41% of people putting him down into the trash tier. So I only had 4 categories this time around because of the limits on YouTube. I don't know why they changed it, but it's fine. So we have the GOAT tier, the great tier, or the solid tier. We have the average / the mid, or just not that great tier. And then we have the trash, the very bad tier. And Yuanshu gets 41% in that vote, bringing him straight down to the last position. He is the only character, think about this now, he's the only character with over 20% in that category. The only character, and he has 41%. Every other character on the list doesn't have 20% or more in that roster. From what I've seen from my data, most of the characters were well liked in this, except for Yuanshu. So with that being said, unfortunately Yuanshu starting off our list here at the bottom once again. All right, jumping into number 50, we have...
I am a bird with no wings, dashed against the earth.
Not too surprising to see him down here. I just feel like maybe the way he was iterated would make people not feel that great about him. Nearly half of his votes was in the average tier, the mid tier. So he wasn't super hated. He only got 18% in the lowest one. I say only 18 when that's the second highest lowest rated character, which is why he's at the second lowest rating. But yeah, Bailawan, his iteration I wasn't a big fan of either. I just don't like what they did with him, and maybe we'll see some redeeming qualities in the next one, but as of right now he's at the bottom. Next up, after Bai Luan, we got another character who kind of plays a similar role to Yuanshu, and that's going to be...
All right, stop it already. I can't bear this any longer.
Yeah, Huashong didn't really do that much. I mean, I understand why he's down here. 60% of voters put him into the mid or average tier, which I'm assuming really dragged him down here. It's Jesus, man. Not the greatest results for Huashong. He didn't really have a lot to do in the game except for being the guy that you learn how to duel with and stuff, and he had a couple of moments, I guess, but nothing too crazy. It's understandable why he's down here. Next up, right after Huashong, we got another character who doesn't do too well when it comes to these polls, and that's going to be...
Just forget I was ever here.
Yeah, Han Dong. Again, he's similar to Bailawan, getting almost 50% in the average tier here. Not too many people liking him. His iteration's not great. They could change it. They could similarly keep him the same, but he just didn't improve that much from the previous games. He's still, well, god-awful. So yeah, down towards the bottom for Han Dong is pretty expected. He's not too great. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the next character. Coming in at number 47, we have a character that I think that personally did well. He got much better than he did in the previous game, and I just think he did well. I like him in this game, and not everybody's going to feel the same way. It's totally fine. Coming in at number 47, we have...
This is embarrassing, but sometimes you just have to run.
So this character did not too well in the polls. 50% of people putting him into the mid or average tier. 30% said he was great or solid, and only 10% said he was a GOAT character, which is fine. It makes sense. He's not like a character that's going to stand out too much, but I think he did well in this. I like him better in Dynasty Warriors Origins and in Dynasty Warriors 9, and he just felt good. I liked him. I liked him a lot. Next up, coming in at number 46.
I suppose things aren't going my way today.
50% of voters putting him into the solid or great tier. Leon is just another character who, you know, he kind of served his purpose a little bit. He wasn't really standing out-ish that much, and he's never really been the character to stand out that much. It kind of makes sense that he's here. Would I like to see a little bit more development from him? Sure, but it's actually really not necessary. Like Leon, those kind of characters, I think they fill their roles well, but they're just not super noticeable. So maybe giving them some special missions or something would give them the opportunity to shine a little bit more. But it's hard when you're going against some of the characters that are obviously above them. Coming in number 45, we have
overcome worse than this. Do not give up now.
Now, Chengpu is towards the bottom of the list, but his numbers would suggest that he's not too bad. 56% of people put him into the solid character list. So from this point on, every character I would say is decently scored. Like they have, I would say, more positive scores than the negative ones. So even though he is towards the bottom, he still received an overall positive score in my opinion, but just not good enough to put him anywhere near the highest ranking. He's really here towards the bottom, and you know, it makes sense. Chengpu's not really a shining star of the cast, so him being down here isn't too surprising. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now at the midway mark of the 40s, we have
Things have taken a turn for the worse. I must think of something quickly.
I don't know. The character, I think he's more of like a serving the pizza kind of character, which means he just, you know, he just kind of does his job. And he gets in, he gets out, he reports, he has his moments to speak, but he's never the guy that's outshining anyone or anything. He's just kind of there. He fills his role nicely and moves on. 57% of people put him into the solid rankings. And again, he has similar numbers to Chengpu. I think he does similar things to him. They just fill their role and they keep moving. I respect that. Next up, right after that, we have at number 43.
Things may not end well for us at this rate.
Now, Shu-Chu, I think, in terms of the polls, I think overall, he's done better. He's still towards the bottom. I think he's still in the worst kind of area. But I don't know, I think these polls are more favorable to him. I think people are liking his small changes. He's still, you know, the dumb fool and says weird things. And the voice acting is a little bit better in this one for him. But I understand, you know, 50% of people said he was a solid character. 12% gave him the GOAT status, while 12% also said he was still trash. So for me, from the outside looking in, Shu-Chu looks like he's improved from the last games, from the way he used to be. And I can appreciate that. I can see that he's getting better. Let's see where they take him as the games continue. Right after that, at number 42, we have...
How do I come back from this?
So again, another character that I would say that got better from the last game. I like the philosophical aspects that he had in the game. Half of the people said he was a great and solid character, which I can respect. But yeah, Chang'e I liked in the game. I think he showcased the philosophical nature about him and what he wanted and stuff. And the voice acting for him probably wasn't the greatest. He had some goofy things that he was saying, but you know, Chang'e just had some really good moments, and I liked what they did with him. Of course, competing against some of the other characters is going to bring him down here, and I understand it. But yeah, solidly 42, Chang'e. That makes sense. Let's jump into number 41. Jumping into 41 here, we have a character that got received pretty well. I guess, you know, it makes sense. Number 41, we have...
I am not really sure where we will be going next.
So, Yuan Hua, or Hua Tuo, the doctor himself coming in, almost 50% of people saying he was a solid character. And I can respect that. You know, I liked him in the game. At first, when I first saw him, when I first played the game in the Dynasty Warriors headquarters, and I first saw Yuan Hua, I thought it was a girl. I was like, oh, is that the female character that, you know, is supposed to be like the new female character? And they were like, no, that's a guy. Oh. Oh, it was an awkward moment, but it happened. Anyway, Yuan Hua here, I think he has some good moments with the protagonist. I like the moments. Some of them with Dian Wei, some Jian and all of them. Don't mind those at all, but yeah, I think Yuan Hua, similar to what I said about like Lu Su and Li Dian, he just kind of filled a role here. He was the supportive character to your lead, and that's cool. I can respect that. All right, closing out the 40s, we have...
Are you ready to face me?
Taking a big jump from that last number, 60% of people put Shunyo as a solid character, which I can definitely respect. I think Shunyo also improved a little bit in the new game as well. Dynasty Wars 9, he was okay. I didn't mind Shunyo in Dynasty Wars 9. I wish he had more content. The way he has it now in Origins, he has some great moments. The drinking, the I mean, he can pretty much be rapping at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Shunyo coming in to close out the 40s makes sense. He's not like super popular. He's not like the guy that you think about right away, but he had some cool moments. I liked him. He stood out a little bit. Good for him. All right, jumping into the 30s, number 39, we have...
I would be honored if I could test my skills against you!
UA Jin producing similar numbers to Shunyo. 61% of people said he was solid. 14% said he's a GOAT. A low amount of people said he was trash. Again, you're going to see, I don't think there's any more characters that have a high, like low rating. Most of them are pretty low here. So it's good to see from an overall perspective that most players seem to enjoy the character. So that's pretty cool to see. UA Jin, 61% though. That makes sense. He's a solid character. He kind of has the same role as like Lee Dion though. We have a look into his backstory a little bit, the whole bookkeeping thing. I don't know how historically accurate that was. I have to look into that, but like the little nuances of getting to know the character and, you know, him having his moments was pretty cool. But in my opinion, he kind of just served the pizza. He was kind of the guy that just played his role, moved on. He wasn't super noticeable or anything like that. Right after UA Jin, we have another strategist coming in at the 38th spot, and that's going to be...
Would you honor me in a duel?
Here, I think the 15% of people putting him in the GOAT status, and I think he had overall more votes on the poll, so he weighs a little heavier on his votes. Is going to put him here at 38. But Shunyu, I liked his role. I think he had a good demeanor about him in the game. Nothing too significant where it like stood out and was like, oh, this is the guy. But Shunyu had some great moments with Guojia, with the protagonist, and of course being part of all the meetings to discuss what to do with strategy and stuff like that. Shunyu, similarly to what I've said about a couple of other characters, is he's serving the pizza. And he's doing it just fine. Next up at number 37, this character is not a personal favorite of mine, but he did decently well in the poll to put him almost in the halfway section of the list here, and that's going to be...
Wow, somebody even lazier than I am.
So Ling Tong coming in at number 37. 58% of people are saying that he is a solid character in the game, and then another 15% again putting him up in the GOAT status. Ling Tong in the game, I think he was decently done. Not a favorite of mine. I don't like some of the things that they iterated for him. I would have liked some more development in his relationship with Gan Ning. I don't think they had much moments together, maybe a few. The big battle where he lost his father was you know, I mean, it was It was like, it wasn't Dynasty Warriors 9 bad, but it was Character kind of blended in, but it was nice to have those duels with him. And yeah, Ling Tong, I could see him just being, you know, he's just a nice solid character. Next up at number 36, we have another character from WoW, Veteran General. That's going to be...
Come, I shall be your opponent.
So Lu Meng posing the similar numbers as some of the previous numbers here. 59% of people said he was solid, 15% are giving him the GOAT status, and not too many said he was trash. Lu Meng in the game was an interesting character for me. There were some things about him that were aesthetically interesting, just a little bit off for me, that I had to take a double take on. And for the character himself, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to go for a younger look for him and trying to make him as somebody who is learning and stuff like that, but then they put him in a position with Gan Ning and Ling Tong to be a mentor, but it wasn't the same. It was very different. And for me, honestly, I feel like Lu Meng didn't really stand out that much. He just kind of, again, served the pizza, did his job, moved on. You know, all these characters had bond moments and stuff like that, but only a few of them really stood out. Like Shunyo, even though he was lower, had his moment. He had a thing that was interesting to watch. You know, I was like, oh, okay, that's different. And every character has a version of that, but some of them are kind of watered down. And I think Lu Meng is on that cusp, because honestly, I don't even remember his bond scenes that well. All right, breaking into the middle of the 30s here, we have...
I'm not one to go easy on people. Therefore, I'm not sure you're going to make it out of this unscathed.
So, Jushu coming in, 17% said he's a GOAT, 55% are saying that he is a solid character, and Jushu was okay. His moments in the game were fine. Did he improve from Dynasty Warriors 9? Not really. I feel like he's really similar to who he was in Dynasty Warriors 9, and it's okay, I guess. Not the best thing to see. And it's like, I understand the character, I know where he's coming from, also with the history and everything. But for Origins, yeah, he's just eh. Next up at number 34.
So what am I going to do with you?
nearly having identical numbers as Lu Meng here. And Xiahou Yuan was a decent character in the game. You know, he had to play the role of the commander, getting his ass kicked instead of Cao Ren at times, which is fine. It happens. I liked his jovial nature and just being the version of Xiahou Yuan that we kind of know him as. He retains his personality that we usually see for him, and I can see why people were just noting him as a solid character. Nothing too crazy, but not like falling flat or anything. So 60% say he's solid. I can see that. I could absolutely see that. Next up at number 33, we have...
Now listen. I am the strongest fighter in this village.
So Juha being introduced as one of the newer OCs, and she was cool. She was kind of one note though. We kind of got who she was. She's the protector, she's the helper, she's the badass warrior, and that's pretty much it. I don't know, I think Juha was built to be like the anime protagonist girl that's like kind of tough on the MC and is like, prove to me that you're worth something, prove to me that you can do things, but just like a little watered down, if that makes sense. So 57% of people said she was a solid character for her first iteration in the game. Nearly 20% gave her the GOAT status, which I could see. I mean, I understand it, but I just think that we were missing some things for her. But she did have a good death scene, and I love some of the moments that she had with Ziluan. Next up at number 32, we have the shining, gleaming man himself.
Very well. I, Yuan Shao, shall face you.
So Yuan Shao coming in at number 32. A fifth of the voters said that Yuan Shao in Origins was a GOAT. And I can agree to that. I like some of his moments. I liked his Bond 3. And I like the vulnerability that Yuan Shao displays in this game. It's pretty cool. Can definitely respect that, and I don't know, he just carried himself a little differently in this game, which I could just appreciate. 56% of people said he was solid. Could definitely see that, and not too many people hating on the mustache man. You know, Yuan Shao was done decently well in this game. I can respect it. I can absolutely respect it. Next up at number 31, before we close out the 30s here, we've got the first companion to hit the list, and this character is the lowest companion that got rated, and that's going to be...
I dare you to try and best me and my bow!
So in at number 31, it seems that Sun Shangzhang was the least popular companion in the game. I guess the twin Tiger Blast wasn't enough to convince people that she's awesome, but maybe we're also looking at her bond sequences and how she was handled in the game as well. Out of all the characters, I'm not even just gonna say female, but out of all the characters, I feel like Sun Shangzhang, especially for the female characters, was the least flirtatious with Ziluan, which I definitely could appreciate. Nearly 20% of people put her in the GOAT tier. Over 60% said she was a solid character. And I can agree to that. I think Sun Shangzhang in the game, her iteration wasn't too bad. I like the way she looks. I think she looks great in Origins. It's her best look so far. And she had some good moments and stuff. I liked her as a companion. She was my most used, I believe, for the Wu Kingdom. So definitely like the Twin Tiger Blast and all the movements with the wheels. But yeah, she's going to fall here at number 31, the lowest companion on the list. Let's see where the others end up falling as we continue on. Closing out the 30s, we've got a very stern general coming up, and that's going to be...
You are not going to like the outcome of this encounter.
So, similar numbers to Sun Shangzhang. 20% said that Yujin's a GOAT in the game. 58% said he's solid. And he's in my top 10, I believe, for best characters, because I like, even if it was just a small moment, I like the moment that he has with his bond, where he says thank you to the main character. I like moments like that. It's cool to see that Yujin has this human side of him, and it definitely brings light to him versus being the stern general who just lost at Fawn Castle. It just shows that he's human too. I like that. I like that for Yujin. He did well. All right, breaking into the 20s, getting closer to that halfway mark. Next character we have is...
Encountering me is the worst thing that could have happened to you.
61% of people said Jiaxu is a solid character in Origins. 21% said he's a GOAT, and I can see the argument for him. I like Jiaxu in the game. He got captured, he had his moments. It wasn't as grandiose as some of the other moments that he's had, but still cool, still fun to watch. It would have been cool to have him in the cutscene where Dian Wei was getting shredded and everything like that, like they did for Dynasty Warrior 7. But overall, character did decently well in the polls, and that's why he's here at number 29. Next up, coming in at number 28, we got a character with kind of a revamp in this game, and that's going to be...
I, Zheng He, shall be your adversary.
So Zheng He coming in at number 28, 65% of people said he is a solid character in the game, 20% said he's a GOAT, but it is strange to see that he's not as glamorous as he is in some of the other games, and maybe they're trying to dial it down, which I am all for. If they want to go back to how he was in Dynasty Warriors 3, that's fine. I think Dynasty Warriors 3 was a perfect balance of Jung-ha. But in Origins, we have this toned down version of him. I like this relationship he actually builds with Zenji. He's a little closer to her because they came from the same place. So that was pretty cool to watch. And yeah, Jung-ha at 28, I could totally see that. And let's see who's after him. Coming in at number 27, we have...
Come, I, Shi Huan, shall take you on!
So, Xu Huang, almost right smack dab in the middle of the list. 62% of people said he is a solid character, 22% giving him the GOAT status. And again, the numbers are getting lower and lower on that other side. And I can't argue it. I like Xu Huang. He's one of my favorites. I've always liked him. And even though his voice acting in the game wasn't the greatest, I like some of the moments he had with Zhang Liao and Guan Yu and, you know, sharing the bonds of warriorship with other warriors of the Wei Kingdom and stuff. So it was cool. I like Xu Huang. He was good in the game. He's kind of the same character he's always been, so nothing too crazy of a difference there, but solid all around. So coming in at number 26, we have a Wanderer here, and even though he has a kind of a personality, people still like him, and that's going to be...
My. Got to say, I don't like putting my life on the line.
So Pang Tong coming in at number 26, 28% of people put him up into the GOAT status. Pang Tong, the man himself, 48% said he is a solid character, while the rest said he was mid or trash. I like his role in the game. He was the guy at the retreat and, you know, the guy you go see. It's not like you had any meaningful conversations with him except for his bonds and stuff. But, you know, he's a floater. He does his thing. He doesn't really do much else, and you know, I've always liked that mysteriousness about Pang Tong. He comes and goes where the wind takes him, and I think people can respect that. Next up at number 25, we have...
I cannot fail, for the sake of those who believe in me.
Tyre should see 26% of voters voting him as a GOAT for Dynasty Warriors Origins. Nearly 60% of people put him also in the solid or great tier. And just like in the overall poll that I did a while ago, he only got 1% of people putting him down in the trash tier. Nearly identical to when I did it back in the day with that giant one with all the characters. Taisha's always one of the least hated characters, and he keeps that frame in Dynasty Warriors Origins, so definitely cool to see that. I think the character was fleshed out pretty well in Origins. I think some of the moments might have been a little forced, like the Kong Rong one and all that, but it was good to see that side of him. I liked it. I liked his moments with Sun Quan after Unsa died. Taisha had some good ones, and he was good. He was a decent character. Now, moving into number 24, we have definitely a character who got revamped a bit, and that's going to be...
Be brave and sally on!
So, Zenji coming in at number 24. 30% of people said she was the GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins, and 52% said she was pretty solid, even though she did go through quite the transformation of her personality, which I believe most have said is closely more historically accurate to who she was versus the, you know, darker side, which was the representation of Cao Pi's other concubine, I believe. But regardless of the change, people seem to still love her. She's towards the upper half of the list here at number 24. For the most part, you know, Zenji was cool. I didn't mind her in the game, and I like the closeness that she had with Jung-ha, that relationship and everything like that. That was cool. Next up at number 23, this character, in terms of looks, got quite the revamp, in my opinion. Like, dude changes his hair color more than women. It is coming in at number 23, we have...
You've got no chance against me!
Alright, so Emo Gan Ning coming in. Jet black hair. 52% of people said that was a great look for him, while 33% say that Gan Ning is a GOAT. Gan Ning in the game for me, he was kind of underwhelming. His moments were okay, his bonds were decent. In my opinion, he kind of was more of a serve the pizza guy. You know, I like that he had his own posse and everything like that. That was cool. It's usually a trademark for Gan Ning, but other than that, and dueling him is a pain in the ass. Other than that, though, you know, Gan Ning was just an okay character, but I can see people giving him those ratings. For me personally, I would put him as a great character as well. I think he was solid, and I think he's, I don't know, a little underwhelming in my opinion. Next up at number 22, this is a big jump in the ratings. This character really secured their spot at number 22, and that's going to be...
Let us enjoy the fruits of our labor.
So even with the wild antics that she had, she did pretty well in the polls. Yue Ying, 40% of people said she was a GOAT for her measuring style. And then almost another 40% said that she was a great character. So that's kind of interesting to see. I know a lot of people did not like the way that she was iterated, but she did pretty well. 40% of people voting her as a GOAT character. So I'm assuming a lot of people really enjoyed the fan service or just the wild antics that she had. Yeah, she's jumping in at number 22 here. So yeah. Next up, coming in at number 21, another huge jump. Another character securing their rating for sure. We have...
Victory is to be taken, not given.
Nearly 50% of people said the new Dong is a GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins, and I can see that. I like Dong Zhuo in Origins, his philosophy and understanding of why he's doing what he's doing. Of course, his look, the way he dies, is just so freaking good. I mean, Dong Zhuo was done pretty well in Origins. I can definitely agree with that. 34% of people said he was a pretty great character, and the remainder said that he was the last two categories. But yeah, Dong Zhuo did well in the polls, and I think he did really well in the game. I think they remastered him to fit pretty well. The only thing I didn't like about him was him holding the twin axes. That's it. Closing out the 20s here. Shocking to see for me personally, based on feedback, based on the videos I've made, based on comments I've seen, it's shocking to see this character at number 20. That's going to be...
Will bring about a new age of peace.
Yeah, I guess I can't give you any voice lines for the character because he don't have any. Anyway, Zilla 1 was the last character that I put out a poll for. 54% of people said he was a GOAT. That surprised me. I was assuming he would have some of the worst ratings due to him being the MC that took away our ability to play with other people. You know, people didn't want to play as him. He didn't talk. And there's so many issues with Zilla 1 and people want to jump his bone and everything. But Zilla 1 had half the voters that 54% said he's a GOAT. Surprised the hell out of me. He is a top 20 popular character. So maybe he wasn't as bad as people say. And if they actually give him lines and things to talk in the next Origins game, he actually might be a popular character. People seem to like him. People seem to like him. Next up, coming in at number 19, we got a monstrous character, and that's going to be...
Ha! I told you they were no match for me!
Dion Wei's moment in Dynasty Warriors Origins was great. Half of the voters said that he is a GOAT character in Dynasty Warriors Origins, while a third of them said he is a solid character. I could agree. I like Dion Wei in the game. His voice acting is a little It makes you tilt your head a little bit, but other than that, I mean, his Wand Castle cutscene was amazing. I like the way he holds himself and just has moments and things of that nature. I can see it for the character. He's a good character. And the Wand Castle thing always seals the deal for how much of a GOAT that he really is. Next up, coming in at number 18, we have the next companion coming up. The second to last, or second to worst, I guess. It's still in the top 20, so they did pretty well in terms of the polls. And that's going to be...
Come now, surrender your life to me.
So, Guo Jia coming in at number 18. 52% of people said that he was a GOAT character, while a third again said that he was great. And he's a companion. It's so weird. He's the companion that I use the most on the Wei side. I love the Divine Eagle Dance. It's one of my favorite battle arts. And although his voice acting wasn't the best in the game, a little whiny, a little sniffly and everything like that, Guo Jia has some great moments. I love the preciousness of life and all that he talks about. I've talked about it in several other Origins videos because I just like that philosophy. The philosophy of characters is what really draws me to them, and I think Guo Jia has some of the best philosophy in the game. Next up at number 17, we got a young reckless man coming in, and that's going to be...
Come and face me! This ought to be fun!
So, Sunsa, 55% of people said that he is a GOAT, while about 36% of people said he is a solid, great character. And he's among the few that only 1% of people said that he is a trash character. So not many people hating on Sunsa. And in the game, I think they did him pretty well. I liked his personality, his energetic behavior, his cutscenes, his death scene. Everything was just great about the character. I would have loved the death scene to be a little bit more cinematic in terms of a fight or something. It was still pretty suspenseful, so can definitely appreciate that. Next up, coming at number 16, surprising me in terms of rating as well. I'm assuming this rating and this character being up relatively high is because of his old iterations, and that's going to be...
You are mine. Get ready.
But I gotta be honest, man, Jotai did not impress me in Origins. He was a very backseat, weird sounding, he sounded British to be honest, whispering, uninteresting character in the game. So it's interesting to see that 57% of people said he was a GOAT. And it's gotta be because of who he is. It's not because of Origins. He did have some moments in the bonds and everything like that, but even in, I think, some of the bonds, I think the first two, Sun Quan is there with you. He's very, I mean, he's always been a guy that doesn't talk that much. Everything. Jotai, from the bond scenes that I'm seeing, he just seems beaten down. Point is, he did well in the polls here, enough to put him up at number 16. Let's go and move on to the top 15. All right, coming in at number 15, solidly putting himself in the 15, and from this point on, these ratings are just going to be skyrocketing. Coming in number 15, we have...
This victory belongs to all of us.
So, Liu Bei making our list here at number 15. 61% of voters put him into the GOAT status. 27% said he is great. Yeah, Liu Bei was great in the game. I don't have anything against him. I think he was cool. Fighting against him was a little tough, but other than that, yeah, he was cool. Yeah, he was cool. Moving on to number 14. Alright, next up, number 14. Barely squeaking out an advantage over Liu Bei. Is it poetic? Maybe. We'll see. Coming in at number 14, we have...
My way is clear. None shall stop me.
So Cao Cao getting 1% more voters saying that he's a GOAT in this game. 27% of people said that Cao Cao is a great character. And he just barely squeaks out an advantage over Liu Bei, getting him one spot over. And I think Cao Cao in the game was done pretty well. I liked pretty much everything about the character. He is my favorite character from the game. Cao Cao could be an MC for this game. He could be. I could definitely understand the love and the high ratings for him. And yeah, that's all I have for the Hero of Chaos. Just wish he had his like mustache and stuff back. Alright, next up, coming in at number 13, we have the Destructive.
Come feel my wrath!
So another companion has been revealed. So the 3 lowest for each faction has been revealed. Zhang Fei is the lowest ranked Shu companion, coming in with 62% of voters saying he was a GOAT and 28% he was great. I really like Zhang Fei in Origins. He's one of my favorite characters from Origins. I like the depth and vulnerability that we can see from him that we usually don't get to see. And he doesn't seem like a brutish, one-note character that he usually is. And I really can appreciate that. And I think that's why he did really well on the polls here. That's all I have for him. Let's go ahead and move on to number 12. Next up, coming in at number 12, getting closer to that top 10, we have...
I am happy to see such favorable results.
So Zhuge Liang coming in at number 12. 63% of people said he is a GOAT in Origin. 27% said he is just solid. A lot of these numbers looking pretty similar, so not too much difference in terms of these rankings here. But he didn't feel as impactful, but he did have some good moments. You know, he had the main cutscene with Liu Bei, and then Chang Banding when he walks in and says he's gonna make a change to the battlefield and everything. I like that, and I like to see the moments of him before he met Liu Bei. You know, he's out there doing his own thing, not interested in really doing anything. And yeah, I can see the love for him. It's a sleeping dragon. How can you not like the sleeping dragon, right? Now, just shy of the top 10, we have the character that probably improved the most from the Dynasty Warriors, like from previous Dynasty Warriors games till now. Coming number 11, we have.
I am thankful to have such trustworthy friends.
Sun Quan did, I mean, his iteration in the game, beautiful. 64% of people said he was a GOAT according to the poll, and a quarter of them said he was great. I agree, Sun Quan was iterated pretty well in this game. He fits his character model so well. He fits the character he's supposed to be. The emotion that he elicits through his scenes makes sense now. Because he does look young, he does look, I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? Babyface leader over here, and he just absolutely was done really well in this game. Alrighty, jumping into the top 10 now. These characters are the best of the best. These are the true GOATs of Dynasty Warriors Origin, starting off with number 10.
It will be my pleasure to face you in glorious battle.
Even though he is an old man in the game, you can't take away his GOAT status, and that's Sun Jian coming in at number 10. 65% of people said that he is a GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins, and about a quarter of them said that he is absolutely great. Sun Jian was a good character in the game. Of course, he is a little bit older looking than he should be. He got the wrinkled hair and everything. Really playing into the fact that, yeah, he's gonna die soon. He looks great in the game. I think he served his point well, and he's got that magnanimous nature about him. I can see him being well liked by most, and yeah, Sun Jian's he's good. He's a monster. Next up, coming in at number 9, this character had one of the best entrances in the game, and the character ended up being one of my favorites as well, and that's going to be.
I shall serve as your adversary.
So Diao Chan coming in at number 9. She's honestly kind of tied with number 8 because their numbers are so similar. 2/3 of the voters said that Diao Chan was a GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins, while about 20% said that she was a solid character. And I agree. I think she was great. Her introduction was amazing. That cutscene, I mean, just super badass. And I love the moments with her and just, getting to know her, and obviously seeing that she's not the most adept person at being quote unquote normal and all that. I don't like the relationship that she's insinuating with Ziluan. I'd rather leave that to her and Lu Bu and all that. But other than that, yeah, Diao Chan was a great character in Origins, and I can see why she was voted so high. Next up, coming in at number 8, like I said, similar numbers to Diao Chan, voted decently well to be up here in the top 10, and that's going to be.
You get it now.
So one guy coming in number 8, just getting a slightly better vote in some of the areas here. 2/3 of the voters said that he is a GOAT character, and I think he's another character that's had a great glow up from the last game till now. He's not the white hair, old veteran character that he needs to portray. He's still those things, but he's not as old looking. And that's great. I think he looks so good in Dynasty Warriors Origins. Gauntlets aren't the best style or anything that fit him, but they're good. It's fun. I like it. It's not too bad. And I can see why he's got a high rating here. One of my favorite companions to use and stuff. So yeah, Huang Gai's good. I like him a lot, and it makes sense to see him up here. Next in at number 7, we have.
Know that the heavens are with me.
So we got Zhang Jiao coming in at number 7, and he's just a monstrous. He's got one of the best glow ups in the game. Like, this dude is magnanimous now. What happened? Dude went through the handsome Squidward phase and just stopped. 71% of people said that he was a GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins. I can't help but be inclined to agree. And Zhang Jiao here is going to separate the remaining people from the rest of the list, as the remaining characters have a 70% or higher in the GOAT status. 20% of people put him into the great column as well. The Zhang Jiao is well done in the game. I like him. Everybody else seemed to like him. Seemed it was a good move for Koei to make him the way he was in Dynasty Warriors Origins. Now, coming in at number 6, right before we hit the top 5, we have...
It's time for my performance!
So Zhou Yu makes it up into the list, high up, top 10. 70% of people said that Zhou Yu in the game was a GOAT, and I can't help but agree. He had some really good moments. The whole betrayal thing, working with Huang Gai, and them having their little acting thing going back and forth. And Zhou Yu was great in the game. I liked his moments. The running in, saving Sun Ce. If anything, Zhou Yu was the MC for the Wu team. He was the MC. He was the consistent guy that's always there. But yeah, I like Zhou Yu in Origins. Him getting rated so high makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and jump into the top 5. All right, jumping into the top 5, we have the most popular characters from Dynasty Warriors Origins, and we're going to start off with...
Feel my steel!
Guan Yu, starting off our top 5, 78% of voters put him into the GOAT tier, and 17% said that he was a solid character. Not too many people hating on Guan Yu in Dynasty Warriors Origins, even with the bedroom eyes and him wanting to remember the features of our face and all that stuff. Guan Yu is still loved by everyone. A great iteration. He has a great weapon style as well. Really fun to use, the Crescent Blade. Very strong. Really, really solid moments. The defense of Shapi when he walks in with Liu Bei for the first time, he's got the new armor on, and he's the guy that you start with. It's fun, it's cool, I like it. Guan Yu's the man in Origins. Next up, coming in at number 4, we have...
I fight so that honor may carry the day!
So Zhao Yun coming in at number 4. 80% of people said Zhao Yun was a GOAT in Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is strange for me. I love Zhao Yun. He is one of my favorite characters overall, but in Origins, I feel like he didn't do as much. I feel like he didn't do that much in order to be this high. Similar to Zhou Tai, I'm assuming it's because of the previous iterations of him and what we love about the character, what his name represents, and that's why he's so high here. And I have absolutely nothing against that. I think Zhao Yun has some good moments, some vulnerable moments and stuff like that, but I just feel like he wasn't as impactful as he was in some of the earlier games, but I understand it. Zhao Yun's the man. Can't hate him. Now, starting off our top 3, we have...
My might shall illuminate the path to victory.
Xiahou Dun, the man, the myth, the legend. 81% of people putting this monster into the GOAT tier, while 15% said he was a solid character for Dynasty Warriors Origins. I can't help but respect that. The only thing I really didn't like about his participation in his story was that they didn't include an eye scene for him. They just explained it, which kind of sucked. But the character himself, the weapon style that he uses, everything like that. The Po Dao was great. He's a fun character to use, and he has some good moments in the game. Xiahou Dun definitely is revered as one of the best characters from the game, and he maintains his title in the latest title. He maintains being one of the most popular characters from the Dynasty Warriors series. Now, obviously, we got to reveal number 2, and once we do that, you guys are going to know number 1. So, let's see if you guys guess right. Coming in number 2, we have...
Behold my power!
Not too shocking to see him here. Well, kind of, at least for me. Zhang Liao coming in, GOAT status, 81%. Same amount as Xiahou along with the 16% of him falling into the great status. But again, similarly to Zhao Yun, I feel like Zhang Liao didn't stand out as much, especially since his moment isn't even here yet. He had a great showcasing at the Assault of Sha Pi. I mean, he looks great. But in terms of the character feeling like he did anything significant, I don't think so. I mean, he's still a great character, don't get me wrong. But regardless, I think because of the previous iterations, and even in this game, he did have some good moments. Zhang Liao standing the test of time of popularity and maintaining the silver medal from the last poll as well. If you guys go look at that poll, you guys will see some shockingly similar results to what I already got before. I guess it makes sense in that regard. With that being said, let's go ahead and reveal the climatic #1 choice. And finally, coming in at #1, standing above the rest from Dynasty Warriors Origins, we have...
I am the greatest warrior this world has ever seen!
It doesn't matter what game, it doesn't matter what kind of ranking it is. It can be about weapons, it can be about looks, it can be about, well, I don't know. I feel like with any ranking, when it comes to Dynasty Warriors, the person that tops the chart is always Louis Boo. 87% of people said that he is a GOAT in the game. And if you go back to my popularity video, he had the exact same number for the highest tier for that one too. 87% of people, once again, have put Lu Bu in the GOAT tier, and he absolutely clears the chart at the #1 ranking once again. And it makes sense, you know, Lu Bu in the game, his halberd is absolutely destructive. Does Zillawan look pretty silly holding it? Absolutely, but it's a very powerful weapon. You can just run through people so easily. Of course, you have the fight with him, which is absolutely legendary, just reliving some of those moments with him and everything. I'm sure people love that. And then we get to see some things about him that were a little questionable. He said some things. Anyway, Lu Bu coming in #1 shouldn't be too surprising. If you guys go check out that old popularity vote where I did all the characters from all the games and just from an overall standpoint, just so I can get a nice idea of who's the most popular, you'll see like the top 10 or so, besides like some of the like glow up characters, they're in the same spots. It's kind of crazy to see. It's kind of wicked. So it's good to know that some of these characters are withstanding the test of time, of popularity. And with that being said, guys, that is all I have for the video here. Thank you all to who participated in the polls for the channel. I think for this one, for the old one, for the weapons one that I got going on, all of those polls, appreciate you all helping me to create some videos that I love to make. I love the data-driven videos, are my favorite. And the only way to get data is to ask. It's the only way I can get it. I can't just make it up and be like, yeah, this character is the most popular because of this and what I think and arbitrary and all that. This is the closest I can get to it. And your guys' help helps me make those videos. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below, who's your favorite character from Origins? Do you agree with the rankings here? Were you surprised about anyone? All that stuff. Let me know down below. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.